Hey, such Sam's Club. I spent a lot more time there than I thought, I guess. Oh. Hey, what's going on, guys? Fred isn't stopping by here, really. There might be some outer bands, but it sailed off into the Gulf. Am I getting a green light? No, I'm not.
Hard rock from the 90s and 2000s.
Ooh. I don't even know if I needed anything that I bought at Sam's Club. It feels like so dirty. Oh, this is not. Hey, Jeremy. Not a whole lot, really. You know, just trying to stay safe and enjoy the cool, drizzly weather. Is it raining up there in your area? Oh yeah, I'm back. Sorry, it was a little later. I was looking for things that they didn't have, and finally some lady passive aggressively is like, "Can I help you find anything before the registers close?" I'm like, "No, I'm good," and just like bolted out of there. So. Yeah, it's 81 here. Yeah. 81 here. Like I kept on like picking up stuff. I'm like, this is not good for you. Don't buy this. So trying to figure out what I bought that like I actually can eat. 14, 30 bucks there. I mean, there's some good stuff. I bought some like really expensive cereal. I forgot the brand of it, but like one box at Sam's Club. It wasn't like it's probably like a little bit. It's like the size of like I guess it's like like what would be considered a family size box for this style of cereal, but it was like $10 on sale. But I gravitated towards it for some reason, and I bought it. It's like the only healthy cereal they had there. Everything else was like Reese's Puffs, Lucky Charms. It was like maple almond, organic. Yeah, I ended up spending like $130 there. Like, I always get their smoked salmon. Yeah, done a lot of walking. I have bursitis in my feet because I'm driving too much. It's just like fairly painful. I even put away some things too. Hey, Camel. Has anyone ever had Zatarain's blackened chicken Alfredo? Yeah, you know, my dad's even offered to go and have something with like an electric bike because I didn't want to splurge for like, you know, a $1,200. I wanted to get one that you could pedal too. Swimming is not really an option right now because the Gulf is full of bacteria or algae and bacteria. I don't have a pool. My sister has a small pool, but not enough to really like swim in. And all the other pools like are just like friends' pools. You don't have any Alfredo? I don't think it's very popular where you live, I would imagine. It's not really. It's weird. The intermittent wipers on this thing. Like if you turn it on low, it goes low. But if you turn it on low in the Avalon, it goes faster. Like the intermittent is much less. Does that make any sense? It's like reverse. It's like the same wiper stock. I mean, the same style. Like they changed like the graphics on it, but it's the same idea. All Toyotas have the same style, like headlights and everything for 35 years. So we're gonna go home. This used to be Fusillo Kia. I guess they sold that as just Kia of Port Charlotte now, but I got some I got this like Omega trail mix. It's like a high in omega-3 and other healthy stuff. But I'm gonna eat something probably unhealthy tonight. I might get Chinese food. Grapes don't really grow down here. Skydiving or wingsuit. Wingsuit sounds like fun. I have a deathly fear of heights, especially recently. I've been in multiple like vehicular accidents, and I've like injured my neck to the point where like it actually gives me vertigo. Like my balance is off, and that actually makes me anxious. It's like if I have to go above like the 4th or 5th floor in a building, like I start getting like a little like I almost like I can feel being up high. So yeah, you know, I'm not really familiar with grapes. I just know that they're, you know, not always a fan of high humidity. Let's just hope this light stays longer than I want it to be. That's probably the worst light you can run. You're right, you know, and I should take your words because everybody in the Netherlands is like, you know, you don't see a lot of like chubby people in the Netherlands. I mean, yeah, they're around. Talk to my dad about it. This offer he has offered me. My dad was an amateur pro cyclist for basically 50 years. He had to get foot surgery recently, like a year and a half ago. Maybe it was even less than that. I think he got it during COVID. He had to get like a bypass thing, and he doesn't really ride much anymore, but he has a million bikes. But he got an electric bike recently, so he can still like ride around and pedal a little bit. But he used to ride like 50, 60 miles a day. I mean, he has an insane collection of bicycles. Like, you know how Jay Leno has an insane collection of cars? Like, he has that in bikes. Yeah, and bicycling is good. It's less like the impact on my knees are also not great, and that's really just from being an idiot of just over the years of just lifting a lot of like heavy pods to where I don't do that anymore because I'm actually genetically predisposed to getting a hernia. My dad and 3 of his brothers have had hernias, and so cycling and swimming are probably my 2 best choices for that. Swimming is, you know, low impact, obviously, because you're in the water. why this guy was with his brakes. I mean, I've done some stupid things too. I jumped into a canal when I was 15 and got impetigo on my face, which was a bacterial infection. I had it in Europe for like a week, and I couldn't go to a doctor because none of the doctors spoke English where I was in Greece. This is like 1996, so this is like before the Euro even. And I was on like a guided tour, but I didn't really have time to go to a doctor. It was like this like blotchy, pussy thing on my face. It was disgusting. And it didn't even, now it kind of freaked me out, but because, I don't know, I was 15, I didn't care back then. But there's a bacterial load in the canal because it was like slow moving water. I mean, I've done some other things that I'm not going to admit to on YouTube, but nothing like, and that's probably not that great of an idea, but no, I didn't do anything like highly illegal. Nothing that would be considered a felony. I did. I'll tell you guys a story. 2 to 3 weeks ago, I was driving around town and I was going down a road that like usually it's like it has a low speed limit, but it really shouldn't. But it's residential, so it does. Anyway, I'm going down at like, I don't know, 40 something. I was passing a car and I was probably going up to 45 and a 30. Right as I'm doing that, I see a cop facing me, and the cop doesn't immediately pull out. So I keep on going on my car. Well, I can make a few turns. Like I know the cop clocked me going like unreasonably fast turns, but then I got to a place where like I had to wait for a few cars. The cop caught up with me. Didn't see I was trying to evade her. Pulled me over and it's like, we clocked you doing 43 and a 30, and I was like, okay. You never admit to whatever they're accusing you of doing. Like just be like, okay, like I mean you could just agree with them or whatever, but I mean you don't agree with them, but like just say I understand. Or if they ever ask how fast you're going, you just don't answer that. Just say like I'm not sure. Or you can say yes. But don't say this is how fast I was going. So took my license registration, came back, and gave me a warning. And I've gotten really lucky. Like I haven't gotten like a ticket in 6 years, and I've probably only gotten 3 tickets in my entire life. And I've been pulled over probably, no kidding, 40 times. The thing is, the police station in Venice, like the cops do like to hang out. There's like park in the parking lots. You shouldn't be. I mean, I've lit fireworks and tried to shoot them at people. I got shot in the face with a BB gun because my friend was using my shoulder as a prop, and I turned my head and didn't realize he was actually ready to shoot. Went through my cheek. Somehow I didn't get a scar from that. It's kind of hard to get upset at the cop if he didn't pull you over. Usually if you talk to a cop and have a discussion with them, humanize yourself, they're less likely to give you a ticket. I got pulled over for going over the speed limit in a school zone during school time, and I explained that, like, I sped up when I saw the speed limit, like when the school zone ended. The cop believed that, didn't give me a ticket. I got pulled over at 3:30 in the morning, coming home from the bar. I hadn't been drinking for like 6 hours, so I was totally sober. And Ashley was in the car. She was definitely not sober. And he was like, well, I saw you were, I know I 100% was driving fine. He's like, I pulled you over because you were driving kind of erratically and your window tint's really dark. And I said, well, the window tint is from the factory. This is in my old blue Hyundai Elantra. And I know I wasn't driving erratically because that's not how I drive, but we'll go with that. So he he said, "Do I know you?" He's like, "I know I haven't arrested you," but I was like, "No, this is in Cape Coral, and I hadn't been to Red Line. I'm not from, unless you know me from poker or from plant videos or from the palm, like plant world, like you wouldn't know who I was." And so Ashley's like, you know, she reeks of alcohol, so like, explain that, you know, listen, she's been drinking, I have not. I'm sure you can tell that. He said, all right, no problem. Like, you know, we just check for people who have been drinking, so I can tell you haven't been, but I'm going to check the tint on your car. So he had me roll down the rear window, put that little thing on over both ends, and he's like, well, it's right at 35%, right at the limit. I'm like, yeah, that's what I asked for from the factory. They legally cannot tint it any darker. So that was kind of a weird situation where it's like it's almost like the cop felt like stupid for pulling me over because he realized like he was not going to be able to give me a ticket for anything. It was kind of ambiguous. It was like a pretextual stop. Anyway, I mean, I don't dislike police, but like I dislike those stops. I mean, I don't think anyone does like them. But if you weren't doing anything wrong and you kind of assert yourself a little bit, you know, in a respectful manner, they'll understand. I was pulled over when I was 17 wasn't speeding, but I had 13 people in my Ford Bronco. One of my friends yelled at a a really bougie restaurant, like "F you." This is in New York. The cop that pulled me over, you know, we all know each other personally, just because it's a small town. He's like, "Listen, used to have one of these things when I was your age." He was like 15 years older. He's like, "Just keep everybody in the car." He didn't even run my plates and run my license because he knew who I was. He knew that like the registration was good. So, let me see what's going on. Yeah, those are just pretextual stops. You know, I was pulled over. First time I was pulled over in Florida was in 2002. I was driving on 27 near Lake Okeechobee, like out, you know, near Clewiston, Belle Glade, and I was doing 66 in a 65, but it was a construction zone, but there was no one in the zone, the construction zone. And the guy decided to give me a ticket anyway, and it also gave it to me for a construction zone, so it was double. So like I fought that, and then I didn't have to pay that. Then I got pulled over in 2005 in my Cherokee for basically having an old car in a nice neighborhood, by a girl who actually ended up being one of my soon-to-be friend's sisters. And I had like Wendy's in there, and it was just getting cold, and she's like, just pulling you over. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, just seeing what was going on. I'm like, all right, well, is that a crime? Like, I live 3 blocks from here. She's like, oh, you live in this neighborhood? I said, yeah. She's like, can I see your license? And I was like, yeah, here it is. I'm like, are you pulling me over because this is an old car in a nice neighborhood? Patrolled. It's like, all right, well, I mean, you're just wasting, my food's just getting cold at this point. I got pulled over for doing an illegal U-turn right on Venice Avenue in 41. And with my girlfriend at the time, it was in my Toyota FJ Cruiser. I mean, I deserved to get pulled over. And the cop is like, you realize you did a legal U-turn? I'm like, yeah, I realized that as soon as I did it, I hit the grate in the sewer. He's like, listen, I have somewhere to go, but like, let me run your license. You know, you have no like, you know, nothing going on. Your license is clean. You can go. And like, he ran back. He's like, listen, I just got to go. He just drove off. I got lucky there. I got pulled over doing 60 and a 45 on Jacaranda, which is coming up here, by an undercover cop in plain clothes. He's like, what do you want me to pull you over for? Doing 60 and a 45 or making a right turn in a bike lane? I'm like, I don't know, whatever's cheaper. And he's like, the right answer is neither. He's like, listen, just don't speed and don't be stupid. I was like, okay, and he just walked away. I was like, okay, well that worked out well. Then one time I got pulled over in Bradenton, right near the hospital. Ashley had like pneumonia, and the guy said I rolled through a stop sign, which I know I did not. And I said, listen, you know, I know I didn't do this. Like, I'm trying to get her to the emergency room to get seen. It's Sunday. He like didn't care. Wrote me a $170 ticket, and I fought that too. And I just took the course and paid $75 to not have points on my license, but I got pulled over twice for having no seatbelt on. I had to pay both of those tickets. Both of the times we were in a neighborhood doing like a 30-mile-an-hour zone. It was ridiculous. That was like $116 a pop. It was right when Florida enacted that being a primary reason to be able to pull someone over for. Used to be had to pull someone over for something else, then give them a ticket for no. Anyway, I could go on and on. There's more stories than that. So a lot of those were just like revenue situations. Oh, I got pulled over delivering food in the Avalon. The first time I got pulled over delivering food. I got pulled into like a safe place to pull over down the main road, and this cop who was like couldn't have been older than like 23. He's like, "Hey, how's it going tonight?" My passenger window didn't roll down at that time, and he was trying to like get to me in the passenger window. I said, "It doesn't." I told the sunroof. I said, "It doesn't roll down." He said, "Well, can you open it?" And I said, "Sure." So I was so tired, I opened it, and he's like, "How's it going?" And you're doing 46 and a 40. And I was like, "Oh, well, I mean, my speedometer said I was doing 43. He's like, "Well, you should probably get that fixed." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to get that fixed on a 22-year-old Toyota." So my window's rolled down, so as he's taking my info, like I can hear someone creep up on me, and I'm like, "Oh," kind of surprised me there. He's like, "How's it going tonight?" I'm like, "Oh, it's going well. Never fun to get pulled over." Came back, gave me a warning for doing 46 and a 40 because he knows that probably won't hold up in court. "Hey, Jacob, how's it going?" And, I've never recorded the situation. I was on the phone with someone when I got pulled over a couple times. But if I don't feel like there's situations like merits being recorded, and if you're kind of just like, if you just, you don't have to be like super respectful, like yes sir, no sir, just act like a normal person. They think like, okay, this person's just someone that's just driving, and maybe this one time he just was going a little bit faster, and so like one time my dad got pulled over in Vermont, and he was it wasn't for speeding, it was for something else. I forget what it was, but he was in a brand new car, and like he couldn't find the registry or the insurance. And the guy's like, "Well, if you don't have your insurance, like like that's a ticket or a fix-it ticket, meaning you have to go prove you have insurance at that time." And my dad's like, "Listen, like I'm a 65-year-old man. Like, and this is a brand new car. Do you really think that I don't have this car insured?" And he's like, "Well, you kind of have a point there." Yeah. Getting upset with a cop just never results in a good outcome. So I would agree with that for sure. I might get some Chinese food. Hey, James, how was dinner? I've never like gotten upset with a cop. The one time where I got pulled over to school zone, I was kind of like, you pulled me over in the area where it says the speed limit is, or I was doing appropriate speed limit, so I'm not really understanding the purpose of the stop. Hence, he gave me a warning. I told my friend I just got a warning. He like didn't believe me. I just showed it to him. He's like, "No one ever gets a warning there." I'm like, "Well." And I got pulled over at Northport back there where you guys saw that cop. He pulled me over. He said I was doing 51 and a 45. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a pretextual stop where no one gets pulled over for doing 6 miles over in a 45. And he's like, "You been drinking at all?" I'm like, "No, just coming home from a poker game with some friends." And then he asked, I took my license registration. He's like, "Do you have any weapons in the car?" I said, "Yes, I do. Here's my concealed license." He's like, "Where's it located?" I said, "It's in the center console." And like I banged my elbow, like I knocked it straight over my elbow. He's like, "Well, just don't, go reaching for that area." I'm like, "That's fine. My hands will be in the steering wheel." And, I'm sure people who are watching from outside of America are like, or even other areas are like, the cop didn't flip out. It's like, no, I mean, you can legally carry, firearm in your car loaded if you have the permit to do so. Let's kind of get this line of. So I'm gonna be home in a few minutes. I'm gonna unload. I didn't really get a whole. I mean, I didn't get like. I got some cases of soda, which might take a few minutes to unload. So if you guys want to hang out for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna probably call in some food, or I could go to Culver's and get some. I'm passing Culver's here, but the problem is if I get it now, then unload, I'd rather go back and get it. So let's do that. Yeah, I mean it's fun to go out to like this, off-road a vehicle like on private road, land where you don't have to worry about it. So I can totally understand that. I kind of do want some Culver's Chinese food, even though Culver's isn't necessarily healthy. Chinese food is definitely going to be on the much unhealthier side. I don't know. Let me think about it. While all I can think about is using the bathroom right now. They closed the bathrooms on me. So when I was 16, I was pulled over for having one headlight at 3:30 in the morning when I shouldn't have been out. They had like a curfew law in Virginia where I lived, and might have been 17. I was 16. I had a 12-pack of beer in the trunk of my Toyota Celica, and they asked if I had been drinking, and I said no, and I hadn't been. They didn't ask if I actually had alcohol in the car, and they notified my mom that I was out that late, but they didn't do anything. They didn't give me a ticket. They just let me drive home. Whoa, that guy was coming out of a bar. So speaking of drinking and driving, you're a hacker. Is that Zach? That's got to be Zach. Oh, my legs are killing me. I just really don't want to cook any food tonight. Not tonight. I didn't really buy anything to cook except for. Hello, buddy. All right. What should I get? Should I get Chinese food or should I get Culver's? Anyways, I'll be right back. I just gotta unload this stuff out of the trunk. Oh, Chinese. Okay, I'll leave some music on for you guys. Oh, that's not James. That's his tosser. I'm gonna turn the car off though. Oh, that's gonna be annoying to you guys. Hey guys, I'm still here. If you guys are still here. Hey, still okay. Just give me another minute. I got a lot of heavy stuff here. Okay, guys, hopefully you're still there. Oh. All right. I still haven't decided what I want to get to eat. Uh, I think I'm gonna order real quick to. I think I'm gonna get some Mexican food. I'll be right back because I don't. Chinese food's just so bad for you. All right. I need to use a different phone, so. Okay. Oh, who's still here with me? All right, so I ended up ordering Mexican food because I just didn't want to get Chinese or Culver's. Oh, Cheerwine. I haven't seen that. I saw that when I was in North Carolina. Turn some lights on in here. So I'm going to make sure, I'm going to lock up the other car real quick. Oh. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. All right. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. That was longer than I was expecting, obviously. I just didn't want to kill the stream and then restart it again. Yeah, I've obviously left Sam's Club since then. We'll go for a little drive, and I'm gonna pick up the food.
So for my third song that I'm gonna play you here on Driver's Seat, I'm gonna play "Sleep Now in the Fire" by Rage Against the Machine. The reason that I always loved this song is because growing up as a guitarist personally, Tom Morello was always kind of undersung for me. And I think that this riff is so lights out, so amazing, and it doesn't need more, and that's kind of rare.
I'll roast her downtown, then I can come back, roll back around. That's a good idea. What happened? Oh, sorry about that, guys. I thought it was gonna at least rain, but maybe it's gonna not rain. It's just cloudy. It's weird. Kind of like having a little bit of wind and rain. So much construction. Apparently it's almost done, but I swear I gotten 3 tires with nails in it. Yeah, it's actually been relatively dry here besides the tropical storms. This past couple of days it's been wet, but like it used to be rare to get like 3 days in a row that where it didn't rain. But now it's guy's got his brights on. Come on, dude. Jesus Christ. I mean, whatever. Those cannot be stock regular headlights. Those are so bright. I don't know if you guys can see how bright those are. You know, it's those aren't even as high beams. Which I mean, if you guys look at it, you can see how glared that one car is. Like obviously, those are not either. I don't know. I mean, I'd be shocked if those were stock. It just seems kind of unlikely. But so it's nice to live pretty close to like the downtown Venice. I mean, if there's no traffic and the lights are green, it's a 2-minute drive. Yeah, the one thing that really sucks when it doesn't rain is it stays like 93 degrees.
Fans of the 90s and 2000s hard rock. Now, of course,
Palm Tree Care Arbor Jet. Sure.
So this last song that I'm gonna play for you is from System of a Down, and for me, I can never get enough System, but this song is a standout because it's so fast-paced, it's so in your face. I think if it had one flaw, it's that it only clocks in at 1:51.
Or just cigar.
By the time the song ends, I'm like, guys, I need another chorus or another verse or something just to carry me through.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of this song.
This is Shimmy.
Oh,
This is
Shimmy, because the other songs are only like 1:55. So like those trucks, the truck you see to the right, like those drive like Corvettes do. Corvettes should, and the Corvettes drive like those trucks should. Come on, this is like the official car of Venice's car for the Lexus RX 350. Oh, I'm gonna go anyway. I can't see you. I can't see you. So I think it's a franchise, but that's the Daiquiri Deck, which is like I mean, it's a bar, but they serve food too. You know, like those places that like have like known to have drink. What is this person doing? It's known to have drinks, but like they serve food because they kind of have to make money, and it's like the food is never good, or it's like okay. There's a lot of nice restaurants now. There used to be like not really. There's only a few restaurants. This place, TJ Carney's to the right. It's like a landmark of Venice. I mean, the people. I don't know. The food isn't that great. It's not bad, but it's not worth like $18 for a cheeseburger, bacon cheeseburger. I'd rather pay the extra $7 and go to Gordon Ramsay steak or burger, whatever it is. So Made in Italy is right there to the right, and the sushi place, that's a very popular, you can see it's still at 9:15, very packed restaurant. And then Cafe Venice. Now we're gonna go over the other bridge. These two bridges are very, like, basically within a few hundred yards of each other, but the other bridge is on the other side of town. Yeah, Bob, what's going on? What kind of fertilizer do you need? So this is a different bridge, but right next to the other bridge. Okay, so you have a drooping crown tuft. That's a really, it's actually more common than you think. Usually that is a boron problem. The best way to get boron is actually just out of borax at Walgreens. You can just get borax at a pharmacy. It's kind of an old school compound, and just sprinkle it. I don't think you can overdo it. I'm gonna spread it like, I've never. My friend, now a guy that I know, he's 86 years old now. He used to use borax for everything. Because Copernicus have this weird boron deficiency where they will wrinkle their leaves and they'll also bend their crown. That's more popular on South American Copernicus. Doesn't really happen with the Cuban Copernicus. Kind of get wrinkly leaves. They don't usually get the bending crown. I know exactly what you're talking about too. Queens also have that problem. There's a queen palm that was growing upside down on the ground. I was gonna do a video on it, but it's like on a private property. I just didn't want to be creepy. So my food is probably ready here. It's usually there's no one here. I'm surprised it's Saturday night. I mean, I'm kind of glad no one's here. Is that an Audi S? No, just an A4 with some sport package. Okay. Sorry, this wasn't as long of a drive as I was expecting it to be, and I didn't, run into this Audi if I don't watch out. So I'm going to be going in there real quick. Okay guys, I'll be back. I would film while I'm in there, but it's too hard to hold the camera. I give them my card and stuff. Going in right there. Okay. I don't know if you guys can like see me limping, but my knees. There's not many people watching left, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm gonna be home in a few minutes, so I apologize in advance for this not being as long as I hoped for it to be. I'm not sure of the application either. I've never used Borax, but from what I know is, you might be able to look it up. I honestly don't have the answer to that. That's pretty rare, but okay, no more masks. I don't mind wearing a mask, but the problem is with my regular glasses, like, you know, air escapes and it goes right up into my glasses and fogs them up, so I can't see where I'm going, and then when I take them off I can't see very well either, so like at Sam's Club. But yeah, it definitely. I mean, I can picture it in my head, the boron deficiency. I wouldn't say it's like it's fairly common. Just depends on what kind of soil you're working with. This construction is so confusing. Like, you'll see that I have to like kind of turn in this area that's not marked to turn. I'll simmer down now. Yeah, thanks. Bon appetit it will be. Like right here, I just, oh, you can't see it. But not sure why we can't use these already paved roads yet. But yeah. You just have to find like the space in between the cones to sort of go. It's weird. This used to be like a 1 or 2 foot divot. I had to like come in on this at a 45-degree angle. I wouldn't even do it in the TRD because it would just bottom out. But I'll make one more circle for you guys. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna wear the mask until, you know, things are really bad here. You know, things are about as bad as it gets anywhere in the world right now. And you know, 3 weeks ago I wasn't wearing a mask anywhere I went in, but now it's like this time last year all over again. This is where the guy has Dipsys Cabata, 2 Foxy Ladies, and a Pseudo Phoenix in the yard. Can't really see because most of the stuff's in the back. Oh. Someone's having a party. All these houses here were built like at least 50 years ago. They're the oldest houses in Venice. I just missed the turnoff for at least somebody I can still be making U-E. Oh, I can still turn right here. Like kind of this weird construction. Oh, I'm just blinding people now. This automatic bright thing doesn't really work that well in this car. It worked fine in my other car. I don't know what happened. The funny thing is, this car is not nearly as fast as the TRD, but it's not slow. I mean, if I get on it, like it is, you know, it's. You might be able to take borax and make it foliar if you want to by like putting in a solution, but they probably make foliar sprays too. Foliar is just going to work faster. We're just back to where we were before. I just wanted to see that house. Uneven roads. I just don't like water hitting. Oh, I forgot we have gutters, so it doesn't really matter. It needs the water hitting like the hood of this car off the roof, which sounds kind of ridiculous, but okay. All right, guys. This is the end. Hopefully it was somewhat entertaining for you guys, and we'll talk. Alrighty.